Yo, what's up, everybody? Another week, another episode of Star Wars. What's up, Dan? What's up, blah blah?
So,
I think YoJimbo will be joining us intermittently tonight. So
he's having his
yeah,
udon noodles.
gotta get
Samurai is
udon.
having noodles.
Yeah. How about, man? So yeah, I don't even know where to start. That episode was probably the best episode of Star Wars TV since Mandalorian season 2 finale.
What was the finale?
I don't want to say it in front of anybody. Like, that's
yeah,
another show.
I remember.
It's another show. Go watch it.
Way. People were crying.
People were crying.
Right.
People were crying. If you know, you know. But I'd rather, because I know blah blah Binks down there. She don't know.
That would actually be a huge spoiler for a lot of people. Before we drop into the episode, Star Wars news.
Was there any?
The big one that I heard this week was Ben Mendelsohn for.
Oh yes.
Don't forget that shit, dude.
Yes, Ben Mendelsohn is going to be in Andor season 2.
Yes.
He's confirmed to be.
I mean, it's debatable. Probably the best Disney Star Wars Andor, as far as like writing and
like it's like a entire series. Yes,
and
like, there's some stuff that happens in Mando season 3 that's questionable, but
I mean, there's
outside of that,
in Andor 2, you could argue, but combined with what am I blanking? The prequel to A New Hope.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yes.
Rogue One with Andor, and then coming full circle with having director Krennic coming back.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get a Jyn Erso series. That would be pretty awesome.
That'd be cool because you feel like you want to know what happened to her after she
got rescued. Well, since Andor was supposed to be like 5 seasons originally, and they brought it down to 2. So that's 3 other series, seasons of
there's
TV.
No way they could afford that. Like even Disney can't afford 5 seasons of fucking Andor. Of Andor. That's a lot of money.
It's all right. We're not a monetized channel yet.
I thought you can't swear before like 5 minutes or something like that.
It's 8 minutes, yeah. So
whoops. It was an accident. We didn't mean it. Don't cut us.
No syndication on this episode.
I mean, if it becomes a big deal, I could just go back and edit the.
Oh, right. Cool. Can you put like a voiceover?
I could put a R2 scream over it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But it's cool that he's willing to come back for the character because it's such a good character.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and he's a good actor, and it all worked out. For blah blah Blink's benefit, Rogue One is a prequel to A New Hope, the 77 movie.
Right.
It happens like right before it leads into it. And
okay.
It was like amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing film.
It's. I
still don't remember the chronology of all of it. The last new, quote unquote, new in my world Star Wars movie I saw was the one with Jar Jar Binks. I can't think of the name, but
episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Yeah, episode 1.
This would be episode 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, Rogue One
for Rogue One. Yeah.
Well, it's episode 3.
I should probably watch them so I have some frame of reference for when you guys,
So yeah, I was thinking after we do after this season wraps up, we'll just jump into the next chronological thing and just start watching some Star Wars stuff. So we maintain a weekly presence here.
Yeah, need to keep that engagement up.
Yep. And might have to like pepper that with maybe some actual loot segments. Who knows?
That would be cool.
I was half expecting you to say it like, "Where'd you hear that? That's a rumor that's going around." So I'm glad you're not saying it's not.
No,
it's a fake
the Ben
rumor,
Mendelsohn thing.
Bumps.
So I've heard that from 5 different YouTubers that I watch their content.
I read it somewhere. I
So
think I read it or something.
they've all quoted, I think was it Variety? I'm not really sure, but it was some like reputable source, or Ben himself said it at a convention or something. So
That's great. That's great.
So yeah, with some kind of like, if it, things happen, people act in movies, people get cut, so right now we're expecting it. If it ends up on the cutting room floor, so be it.
That would be a tragedy, though. It'd be so weird if he wasn't in it.
It would be a tragedy, but look at like the stuff that they've done before. Disney Plus takes whole series away. The Willow, you can't watch Willow no more.
At least it was on. At least it was actually broadcast, though.
Yeah.
At least it was actually on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
If you want to know how I feel about Willow, Jimbo and I did a series recap when it ended. It's available on the channel.
I'm aware.
But
that's the kind of the downside of streaming.
I'm letting people watch
like that
this
can happen. Stuff like that can happen with streaming. There's no hard copies. So that's as awesome as streaming is, like that's one of the downsides to it.
Right.
It can just be vanished, disappeared from reality, from the zeitgeist. It's kind of a bummer. Anyways, that's the only news that I had this week.
I played No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, other than the Outlaws gameplay exposition, I was out last week, but that was gonna be my news thing from last week. That looks really amazing. So Star Wars Outlaws is a upcoming game, and it's as big as GTA. Like, it's huge. You can go around the galaxy, and
wow.
Not only that, you can fly in space and then fly towards a planet and then fly into the clouds and like land on the planet. There's no loading.
Oh,
like they show like she's a bounty hunter, the main character, and she flies to the planet, goes through the clouds, everything lands on the ground. You're like, there was no loading screens. That's crazy.
For Star Wars Outlaws?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
She was in a space battle and went through and then landed on the planet. Dude. It was crazy. Oh, there he is.
Yo.
Hello.
Yo. Welcome. So you haven't missed much. You haven't missed much. But Dan was just talking about the Outlaws demo. Did you see any of that?
I have not. I did not check it out.
Apparently there's
yeah, it was space to ground, like those big multiplayer online games where you can be flying around space and then enter the planet's atmosphere, then land. Like, they showed all that, and then she went on a mission, like no loadings. There was a little kind of cinematic things happening, but no stopping of the gameplay.
Chris Roberts is probably very upset right now. He's the guy who makes Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
That's what it made me think of, those kind of deals. And then the other news I mentioned was Ben Mendelsohn's coming back for Andor season 2. So that's cool.
Director Krennic.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
Did we lose Jimbo?
I don't know if any of you saw the Andy Donna, like the comedy bit about Ben Mendelsohn.
No.
Like, his real accent.
What is his real accent? Scottish or something?
Australian.
Oh, yeah, I think I knew.
He's got like a real. He's got like a real. He's not that, like, he's understated. Like,
a bit of trivia: he had dental work before Rogue One, which is why he kind of has that funny way of talking.
now he's got to mimic it.
Yeah, now he's got to do that, like Director Krennic with a kind of a lisp. Kind of.
Oh, that's funny.
A big toothy lisp. I noticed it too. I was like, "What's wrong with him? Like, why is he talking like that?" It's like, oh, he actually had a medical issue before shooting. So, wow.
I guess that's not funny, but it's kind of funny that he has to mimic it. No,
he probably thinks it's hilarious, and he got paid. I was in a very big Star Wars movie, and I had a lisp. Anyways, that's all the news I had for this week.
He just absolutely never gets to use his real accent, though. And
well, that's how you know he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I mean,
he could do other accents without like cracking up.
It's not too far to do a British. The Imperials are always like had the British accent, so it's not too big
Yeah.
a stray from Australian.
I
well,
mean,
have you seen The Boys and seen like what Carl Urban's English accent is? Because it ain't good. Like sometimes it doesn't work the other way. Well,
it's funny. I might have to watch some clips from that to see that.
Oh, it's egregious.
All right.
That was it for what's the name of the episode?
This episode is called Night.
Ooh,
So last week we had day, and this week we had night. Apparently, it was filmed all in one episode, and they decided to chop it in half in the editing room, and that's why we got that crazy cliffhanger last week.
Yeah,
and it picks up pretty much right where it left off in this week. I feel like if they showed it, okay, go ahead.
Alex Garcia Lopez, written by Cora Adana and Cameron Squires.
Cool.
I just wanted to name drop for them because it was a very
it
popular
was
episode.
it was a very there was people who I wasn't expecting to make YouTube content made YouTube content about the show this week.
Not surprised.
Are you referring to Red Letter Media?
No, I'm not. Did
they also did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
everybody's one of the things that people was like, oh, this would have been such a cool if it was just like one longer episode. The episodes are so short. So that was the one. I mean, among other things, obviously, there's a lot of talk about this episode, but that was one of the things.
They should have been dropping us 2 episodes a week from the get-go and get this whole thing done, within the month of June. Like it just would have, I don't know, would have felt better. I think.
Would that help their subscriber numbers though?
It's pretty short.
Wait, what'd you say, Jim? I couldn't understand you.
I said, would that help their subscriber numbers? Because part of it is like keeping people like retained for another month.
Yeah, they got to have it just longer than a month. So everybody, if a show drops that they like, they get their subscription the day the finale airs. So they get, they could just binge it on that last day and then cancel right away. Boom, done. That's why I know tons of people who do that with all the different streaming services. I'm not saying you should do that, but people do it.
Yeah, they're hurting.
Disney
Plus is a money loser right now. It's like $11 billion.
Well, they should be marketing
not just because of this show, but
but they should be marketing all the content that they show on this, as physical media. Because the physical media will pay for these shows to be made. You put out, collector's editions of all the different franchise shows that Disney Plus owns. You don't even have to even put them in the store. Just have a little QR code. You scan off your TV set and you order it directly from a warehouse somewhere near you.
So we're saying like all you have to do is make shows. But that is exactly the problem right now. Is that there is there's another looming strike. So
they got to be able to make a deal today.
Oh, okay. Is there? I didn't know about this.
I did see that there was a deal struck today. I'm not sure how tentative it is. I didn't get to click on the article. It's just something that I saw a few hours ago.
Well,
it's hopeful.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some smart people working for them. It's just weird that they can't figure it out. And it's not just Disney. Most of the studios are hurting from streaming. It's just not generating the money that they thought it was going to do. So, yeah, it's expensive. Shows are expensive. I think Acolyte was at 130 million or something like that.
It's something ridiculous
for the whole series. Yeah.
But sorry, I was coughing.
130 mil.
Wow.
The thing is though, is like all these companies that are making shows, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO, they used to have this other platform that they sold their stuff to that
TV?
that kind of
syndication,
like made the money, like that's what paid them. Yeah. Advertising and all that kind of stuff.
Advertise-based TV, like cable.
And now that advertising money like,
and they're basically all the little
yeah.
fiefdoms are fighting each other for like the consumer dollar.
Yeah, it's
and you know who's benefiting the most from all of this? Tubi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
That's,
saw that
Blah,
article
Blinks'
about
favorite.
Tubi's streaming has skyrocketed.
oh yeah.
I've
'Cause
been
why?
watching. I've
'Cause
been
it's-
watching Tubi. There's a lot of really good stuff on Tubi.
There's a lot of
They
commercials
got
too, though.
shows, movie.
They're not too bad. For something that's free, I feel like
For
they
something-
offer a lot of really good content, even with the ads.
Yep.
They're not excessive. You know, I watched a movie on there the other day, and it wasn't excessive. I wasn't like annoyed by the amount of
Right.
ads.
It's just like watching a show at home on your regular television, except you have the pause feature,
Right.
Or
you
go,
know,
you can go back.
or
Can
you
go
could
back
rewind and rewatch. I mean, they're
We
gonna
came
make
full circle to TV.
they're gonna
again with
they're
the
gonna
DVR.
stick you with a commercial break. You know, if you rewind before the commercial break, but it's you know, it's the cost of doing business, I guess. I mean, it's free. You gotta watch some ads. Big whoop.
Yeah.
A lot of great shows on there. A lot of great shows. Greatest American Heroes on there.
Gilligan's Island's on there.
So, and this is not a sponsored Tubi. They're not a
No.
sponsor, but hey,
That'd be cool.
Right.
we're here.
Yeah.
Contact us.
So, if I had to describe this episode in one word, it would be bonkers. This was a bonkers episode.
It was a bonkers
I
episode.
was like, "What is going on? I don't even know what's going on anymore." Like,
If I-
I was
describe it in
actually
one word, I
texting
would say-
Lobo while I was watching it with, you know, bugged out emoji eyes and
yeah.
But yeah, it was like this episode actually got me like several double take WTF moments.
yes.
Just like, oh, what, you know. But
I mean, we'll get into what happened, but I was, you know,
I mean,
it was definitely my favorite episode so far, even with, you know, what we'll talk about later.
Right.
So was that the redemption of the series, though?
For me, it kind of was, even though, you know,
For the people who don't like the show, it made them quit completely. From what I understand.
This was it.
Last week is when they all quit because they were mad at the cliffhanger.
Yeah, but if you look at like the Google like analytics for the engagement of the show, most popular episode ever.
Yeah,
not surprising at all.
Yeah, it's
surprising at all. And we'll get into it. I'm kind of like reserving my comments for the specific parts.
Right. No, totally. So with that being said, let's get into it. But before we do that, I randomly hit pause on the recap while I was looking for stuff to share there. Let's see here. I clicked the wrong button. This is what I thought was happening at the end of last week's episode, but of course, see how that looks. Got that singular. You know, I thought we were getting that moment, but we didn't get that moment. We get someone else who gets that. We get someone else who gets triple that moment later on. But
aww.
That being said, we pick up right after what I just showed. OSHA have been flung out of the. Sorry, I guess he threw her that way. Flung out of the way after that close face to face with this. I think they're calling him the Stranger now.
Yeah, Milo Ren.
Smilo Ren. Yeah, no,
I like it.
Darth Zipper Face.
I've seen that one.
Darth. Oh, it was someone. Oh, I forgot the other one already. Just Darth Teeth. You know, like. I mean, come on.
There was a big character in the sequel trilogy, blah blah Binks, called Kylo Ren. Who's the actor that played
Adam Driver?
Adam Driver
was like
they're calling this guy Smilo Ren because he's got the
right.
Yeah, you know.
But also,
I only know about him because of Disneyland, I guess.
There's also he's got the Ugh. They need to switch that up.
They need to add some OG Star Wars characters, but that's another episode. That's
right.
We should do an episode about that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We could maybe we'll do it from Disneyland.
Yeah,
or at least film it there.
Right.
So after Osha gets flung to the side, first things first, she has to find her little friend. You know, Pip, the most important droid ever. the most he's like utilitarian, but yet can't do nothing by himself.
Yeah,
if not shown him to have like boosters yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have. He could throw a spark. He could put out a fire. He could be a super bright flashlight, but not much else. So Osha, I don't even understand what. So she picks up Pip, puts her in a little pouch, and starts running towards the lightsaber battle she could hear, and trips and falls right into the corpse of
some guy.
Red shirt.
Unnamed red shirt Jedi.
This scene was giving me Stranger Things vibes.
Because
it was just the way it was shot and the
red dirt with the weird lighting.
It was totally giving me Stranger Things vibes. It was a great shot. And
there's ash from something.
Yeah, it looks like the Upside Down, but like an upside down with orange.
There's ash falling all over the place, but you could also see the blast that the Jedi did, the force push that pushed, all those Jedi.
I thought those were their streaks from them getting blown back.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did the ash come from? Is that have to do
I
with
think that's
armor?
because all that, probably a little bit of that, but also look how ground covered around where Osha's standing is. So you got to imagine that all that where that's blown out, that's what's up in the air. All that, hundreds of years of leaves falling and no one raking it up. Got to sweep the forest to prevent forest fires.
That Wookiee was a bad housekeeper.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. That's hilarious, Lobo.
Not yeah. So yeah. So then Osha watches some lightsaber dueling going off on the side. I'm trying to get a good little clip, and we have the masked man fighting Jedi in the trees. I think that's Yord right there. Sorry,
looks like Yord hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Yord. He just gets punched in the gut. But then we get some more than that first Jedi that Osha saw. Don't survive this. Trying to get a good stop on this. The first kill that this guy get the Plo Koon looking guy.
Yep.
Who I think, I forget, they gave Lucasfilm actually gave this character a name. I don't remember what it is, but it doesn't matter anymore because they're dead.
No Koon?
No Koon. No, that's
No.
Yeah. That's not good there.
Yeah.
It's better than Silo Run.
Yeah, I didn't make up the last name.
Yeah, no, that is true. That's so we got, let's see. Well, I'm not going to try to get it, but we get the first deflection that this guy does with his wrist. And he's got some kind of gauntlet or powder. It looks like his I don't know, his right arm looks kind of like he's got some kind of a coating on it, not necessarily armor, but he is blocking lightsabers with his wrists,
with his armor. Now this part confused me,
and then with his head.
It was like, yes, I thought he was cutting their lightsabers at first. I was like,
right,
whoa, like he just chopped their hilts in half or something like that. But then, you know, come to like later, there's been a lot of analysis of what's going on here.
There is a lot of analysis, and the one that is the correct analysis is that this metal that his armor is made out of is called cortosis.
Yeah, cortosis weave.
And it's been around since I think the early 90s.
Yeah.
It's old extended universe, but it has also appeared in the Dr. Aphra comics, which is supposed to be current continuity with, you know, canon continuity with it being an official thing. There's a I forget what issue of the at Dr. Aphra comics it is, but she has a sword. The thing is called the Null Blade, and there's a shot of her and Darth Vader crossing blades. Vader using a lightsaber, and she's just got this big metal sword. So it's
apparently it disrupts energy fields. So
yes,
on contact with a lightsaber, it can deflect blasters, things like that.
Yeah,
it will actually they will freak out and turn off for a few seconds.
Right,
very handy in a fight.
Which makes me think: is that what is added to, like, say, Kylo Ren's blade to give that weird, sparky, you know, his I don't know, almost look like a claymore the way the hilt was, you know, and it's got that frizzing. It's not a clean blade like all these blades. It's got like a frizzle effect or frazzle. I don't even know.
He's just got distortion on his pedals.
Right. He stomped on his pedal.
Yep. Exactly.
I think he just does that for the cool effect. Because I think if you tried to
cool, right, but I'm looking for like what is the scientific way that would work within the Star Wars universe. And I think if you have little dangly bits of cortosis on the ends of your, you know, blade emitters, it might, you know, enhance it instead of I don't know, fine tuning.
But it is interesting to see this stuff being brought into this. So that was the first surprise. I was like, oh, they're not cut in half. They're turning back on after a few seconds.
Right.
So I didn't know.
Which is really cool. I like that effect, because I mean, for years and years we've had live action Star Wars where, I don't know, in Star Wars Episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn shoving his lightsaber through blast doors to melt the locking mechanism. I mean, what can't a lightsaber cut through? This stuff. This is like the not quite. It's
not Beskar, but
it's not okay. So Star Wars has got Beskar and cortosis, and that's like comparing adamantium and vibranium.
Basically, yeah.
You know, from the Marvel universe. That's the best analogy I got. But apparently cortosis has other functions, which we learn in a few minutes. Because here we have I thought that we were going to lose Yord, like at the straight. I guess I'm at the 3-minute mark.
Very
3 minutes, because he gets hit in the leg and is dropped.
He gets the traditional wounding of a Sith attacking a Jedi.
Right.
Just a little tiny cut that can disable him a little bit, but not kill him, instead of chopping the leg off.
Right. And then we get, their sabers came back to life. Oh, how about that? And they give right back at him right before he gets a chance, to do the death blow. But then we get, where is that? Is that this? Sorry. We get the people that rescue him, one gets cut down, and then we get this next little bit here with what kind of pissed me off. I didn't do the show yesterday because I said to Binks yesterday that this should be called a sif kebab.
Yep.
But apparently John Hoey over on TRB
Beat you to it.
Beat me to it. So
Aww.
good going, John and Johnny.
Great minds think alike, you know.
Great minds think alike. Make Solo 2 happen. All right. That's that shirt that I have. I bought from him. So
I do hope they make a Solo 2. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. What I like about this episode is that nobody felt safe.
Right.
You were like,
it's like
they're just going there. They're just gonna like.
So
everybody's on the table right now.
At this point, though, this like in this little segment here, this guy killed 3 more people.
Yeah,
so we've seen him kill all 5 red shirts already.
So like,
at least
we're just
all 5 red shirts. The only people left are Yord. What's the girl's name?
Jackie,
and Master Soul.
So my question
if you're
is,
counting OSHA
Soul right now, that was my whole time when everybody's dropping dead right here. I was like, where is Soul? Like just run off into the forest? Like it was.
He's recharging.
He's meditating somewhere.
Also, the sun went down.
Circle.
So.
Yeah, he found that circle like they have in Jedi Fallen Order, where he sits down in the circle and he regains his power, his little stim packs. And
okay. So that was my only. This part, I'm like, what? He just let his boys just get chopped to bits right now. Like that's
right. But Yord watched those 3 guys die too.
But Yord
he's on the ground right there.
He was in there. He was at least trying something, you know. Soul's hiding in a tree meditating right now. I mean, that's
he's going, not again. Yeah,
exactly. Maybe we'll find out why. Maybe we'll find out why he's like a weird.
I mean, maybe he ran into the hut. No, because May's still in there. I don't know.
Yeah, he ran it.
I don't know, but we get
and Jackie too. Jackie's not there.
This guy's standing over. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're separated. That's like, unless he's like force pushing people all over the place. Because keeps him separated. It gives him a better advantage. I mean, he's also running on. Those Jedis are all scared. They don't know what this dude is. And I know what he might be is terrifying to them.
I'm sure. So I can't forget. Jackie is trying to get OSHA, so I can see why she's trying to get May.
She's stealing May.
Jackie is.
She's on the prize. She's not going to lose.
And that's probably where Soul is too. He's probably following Jackie.
He's stealing Jackie, and Jackie's stealing May, and May is running away.
We're doing some mental gymnastics to forgive their being cowards, but okay.
Right.
Anyways, moving on. Greg.
So here we get. I thought Yord was going to die now.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was a goner.
But no. Again, I've showed too much in a row. Like right when this guy's going to come down, we get. Oh, that went way too fast. Sorry, I'm trying to get.
Well, I remember.
We get OSHA. OSHA shows up, but she's still got the stun blaster that Yord tried to take from her last week.
It's like that's her only defense.
Yeah,
it is. It's her only defense. But we get
a great reaction with it.
I hit pause. He didn't freeze.
Is there a drive?
No, he most definitely did not.
And that's another, like, Cortosis not only stops regular blaster fire, lightsabers, stun blasts don't work on it either.
Nope.
Which is weird because the way the human anatomy is set up, your shoulder is a little bit farther out than your head. So how
Cortosis is that good.
Is that guy's
Not good.
Cape.
Is that cape made out of got like a Cortosis weave in it?
Like mithril.
I mean, if it could be done, I mean, that's the best. And you're a bad guy. That's definitely what you want.
Well, see, the stun beam is actually like kind of like a field, like almost like a magnetic field. So
Yeah,
by
it's like
wearing
a
Cortosis,
big,
it disrupts it, it breaks it.
It's a big toroid. If you notice, it's like
compute.
2 donuts.
It short circuits the whole beam thing.
Donuts.
Right, but like he didn't do like I don't know.
Donuts.
I think to sell it a little bit better, you should have like adjusted his shoulder a little bit. Like, hey, that stung.
The wizard did it.
Because it would have hit his arm before.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like wrestling tradition, though. He no-selled it.
Yeah. I guess he pulled a Mark Calloway right there.
I mean,
maybe for those of you who don't know, that's the Undertaker.
Exactly. When they get punched and they don't even flinch, like that kind of move. Yeah, I see. What you mean.
like when Hulk Hogan's hulking out.
I'm sure it tickled a little bit, but he's not going to show it to weakness.
So we have this the lightsaber wielding bad guy who still has no name. I mean,
Smilo.
It's this rough. I don't know about that.
I like Smilo until.
But I'll tell you. Yeah, it's probably the closest to the truth because of the discussion that's been happening after this, some theories and speculation. But we'll get to that.
We'll speculate.
Yeah. OSHA, I mean, May's still in the hut and sees Kelnaka's lightsaber on the floor. I've heard a few people complain that the hilt wasn't wood.
Yeah, it wasn't bamboo or wood.
And it's like, yeah, because Gunji got the wood lightsaber hilt. And when he did that, what's the robot, the Jedi lightsaber master droid?
I've already forgotten Ahsoka. Okay,
the one that's voiced by David Tennant. That guy says
Hu Yang.
Hu Yang. That's not. It doesn't. People don't generally choose that. Probably because it doesn't hold up against get hit by another lightsaber very well. But yeah. Let's see here.
I'm still bummed, and I know this was probably discussed last week, but that his death was off camera. Apparently, the director was saying that it was a budgetary reasons, but still, like,
well, they had. She said they had it scripted. They never filmed anything, so
just bummed that you didn't get to see him fight.
So we get this little. I'm just gonna let this play for a second. They cut back outside. OSHA's being chased by the Sith guy
in her dopey civilian uniform.
And her dopey in that
which she
civilian robes.
So it's
civilian
universe.
Yeah,
she complains about it.
I'm not wearing those civilian robes. Next scene, she is.
It cuts to her wearing it.
But she's freaking out. She doesn't know where it is. She hears rustling, and apparently somebody somewhere said that in the next. I think it was Leslie Headland said it. That in the next episode we were going to get a Predator-like moment. I guess this is it.
It's a little bit of a stretch.
I mean, shades of Predator, like in a forest.
Shades of Predator. But we do get the one of the coolest. Trying to get where that starts. We get something that we've seen in animation a bunch of times, but I don't think we've seen it quite like this in live action. And that is a saber toss.
Oh yeah.
You're right. It's been a lot of video games.
And then boom, here we go. We got Master Soul out of nowhere. Comes back to, try to save OSHA, and we get a little bit of comedy. In this rather dark episode.
Wait, saber toss and Return of the Jedi. Darth Vader throws a saber to break down the bridge, cut down the bridge.
Right, but not quite like that.
No,
that was
they couldn't do
Darth
that back
Vader
then,
throws it, and they show it like for like 2 spins.
No, this is way longer.
And he doesn't, and I'm not even sure if he even catches it back. Vader. I think he picks it back up. I don't remember it seeing it visibly go from the ground to his hand or just continuously in the air to his hand. I don't remember that. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments.
I don't remember. I don't even know if they show him picking it up.
I'll make a special episode dedicated to that mistake.
Not even a Kenobi, huh? He doesn't even throw it. I'm trying to think. Like, that was a cool shot.
Right. So we get Soul is finally face to face with this dark Jedi. Like that one. with the bad guy, the stranger.
Smilo.
And
I'm going with Smilo.
Orders Osha civilian to the ship. So Yord grabs Osha by the arm and says, "Let's go. We're going to the civilian to the ship," which he really should have stuck to. But we'll get to that. And we get now finally title screen. How about that? That was all before. That was the cold open. And that was a pretty hot cold open.
Yeah.
Man, this Star Wars show sucks. They gave us like a 15-minute long lightsaber fight.
Right. Before the opening credit.
Before the opening credits. The first like 5 minutes of it, yeah.
And it pretty one-sided too. It was a massacre.
It was So we get a little bit more of Osha and Yord rushing back to the ship because Soul gave him an order, and Osha's not too keen about it. She wants to go back to help because, of course, she does. And we get some dialogue between Darth Zipperface.
Milo.
It's just, I don't know. The term Darth is
I'm just gonna go with
more fitting.
The stranger. I'm waiting for that part of the episode, but I don't think he's actually a Sith.
Because that's what they call him in the subtitles.
Right.
You know?
What do they call him in the subtitles?
Stranger.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just stick with that. So the stranger and Soul start talking, and of course, who are you? The guy's like, you don't remember me, which is weird. And he's like, well, Soul says he senses something familiar.
You know who does though? Yord knows the hell out of him. It seems like.
Out of who?
The stranger.
Like he was studying him.
No, he knows him. Like he literally. Well, we'll get to it.
Okay.
His last word.
Oh,
is you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's because this is the guy from that ran the shop that was in the shop that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot that Yord saw him.
Yeah. Like, no, Yord wanted to arrest him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he probably should have. Yeah, it turns out Yord was right.
Yeah.
If you go back to those episodes,
Yord was right. Oh, that's a t-shirt design.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt design. Yord was right.
He should have also done the Jedi thing and gone into his head, but he didn't.
Because Jackie is like, no, we're gonna do it the smooth way, and it's like, you know what? Actually, Yord was right.
Yep.
I hate to admit it, Yord was right.
Yeah, Yord was right. The Yord horde strikes back. All right. So we get May. This is just too funny not to show the footage of. Starts running out of Master Kelnaka's house and gets promptly drop kicked by Jackie.
So now we're entering into my personal favorite part of the episode, and before we get super into it, we got to give props to Mark Ginther, stunt coordinator, and Lu Junchang, assistant fight coordinator, both who worked on Chang Sing and the Ten Rings or whatever that movie was called. They're those guys did that movie, which is what their whole, and they've obviously done other kung fu stuff in the background.
They're legitimate.
But you can tell like the level of your average action show, and like these next few fights are like amazing. Jackie, especially for her small body, like the little punches and cut and chops and everything like that. The movement, the camera movement,
little punches and chops.
Yes, like, and then the knives, May's knives and everything like that is straight out of a kung fu movie for the next 5-10 minutes. More so than just like lightsaber. Like their fight they're about to have right now. I was like, oh, they hired somebody for this. This is amazing. Like, wire work and.
I'm not going to show a bunch of the fight just
because
you
don't have to. But
y'all need to be watching this on Disney Plus. Really, I know I show a lot of footage here. I try to do it just enough where they don't sue my ass.
What else do those guys do? Iron Man. Ginther did Iron Man, so he's got chops, the stunt coordinator guy, and then the Lu Chiang, the fight coordinator. Shang-Chi.
The other guy,
the Legend of the. He also did Mulan. So before Legend of the Ten Rings, he did Mulan. So again, and then I was just going back to movies. I'm sure they have lists of like all
Disney has this guy on lockdown now.
Yeah.
He's their fight guy.
And this is why you have them, say what you want about the writing and the character motivations and the themes and all the other stuff about the show. Like this fighting was like flawless in this episode.
Yeah, no, this fighting was good.
Anyways,
this was
had
good
to mention
stuff.
that. Especially Jackie, whoever did her, which one of those two guys did hers? Probably the Liu Chong guy. Like, amazing. Like the movements look so good, like not kind of hokey. Like it was just good.
Right. No,
and then
it
felt
felt
to the actress too for actually like pulling it off. Like.
Well, I mean, like I don't know if you saw like the actress that plays Jackie is Wolverine's clone, like from the Logan movie.
Oh, she's in that.
She's that was her like
jumping around
introduction to Hollywood.
Yeah.
So,
good casting as far as her, because like she can do the physicality.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's sometimes when they're faking it or trying, like they're not really there. Like you can tell, like she can bring it. Like in the beginning, previous episode, she was like flinging like 2 sticks in the training in the Jedi Temple. Yeah, she was doing it like fluidly, like she looked like a natural. I'm like, oh, she's been practicing. But in this episode, she really too bad what happened to her. But anyways, I'll get there.
So Jackie throws May through Kelnaka's front door.
Yes.
And then starts to attempt to arrest her. Like she should have did on the other planet.
And that's like another kung fu
in episode 2.
Where I'm trying to apprehend you,
Getting one on and then like fighting for the other hand.
One arm fighting and stuff. It was just the flow was good. Again, the camera work was so good. Yeah.
Right. But so Jackie starts telling May what she's arresting her for. Not just that she's being arrested, but she starts listing them off. The murder of Master Indara. The murder of I always forget the guy's name. Torben. The murder of Master Kelnaka and the fire that killed your family. And at that moment, when she says that, let's a little watch May's face. Watch the how it changes. She goes from struggling to pretty wide-eyed, and then rage breaks the hold. That's the dark side of the Force right there.
Yeah, people complain. Okay, in the first episode, she was about to turn herself in, like her character's flip-flopping. But now seeing that, her hearing that, she's like, I'm not turning myself in anymore. Screw the Jedi. You know, like she's not
right there. You know. She's like, you think that I did that, and I know the Jedi did that. At least in her mind, that's the truth. So,
but they don't want to. They don't want to hear that. The people who are kind of done with the show, like they're not
right. No, they've already checked out. They've already been like, oh no, that those too many Jedis have yellow sabers. This isn't gonna work. You know.
But yeah, because I was confused too. I was like, wait, she was about to like turn herself in, but like seeing that line again, like now she's pissed. Now she's not going to turn herself in. She's like, screw you guys. I'm not going back. Forget it. And so that makes sense.
So how many flashbacks are going to happen next week though?
I don't. So
is there going to be time travel where everybody's alive and happy again?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
This isn't Back to the Future. The episode 7 and episode 3 have the same director, so I'm expecting episode 7 to be where we get the truth
of
so
what happened.
I don't
about
what happened back on Osha and May's home planet.
And what Saul did in it.
Yeah, what Saul did it.
What Saul's role in it.
Yeah. But I do think we're going to find out a little bit. Well, let's not get too far ahead with speculation. Let's finish off the episode. There's not much of it left. Soul realizes this guy is the one who trained May and asks him what kind of master doesn't show their pupil his face, in which the stranger replies, "You tell me." So, implying Soul has not been forthright with Osha.
There's definitely another side of the story that we haven't heard yet.
Right.
They're saving that up.
But we cut back to the fight between May and Jackie, and it seems like Osha's really making the advances at her.
Or is May?
May. Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I mean. May. Sorry. They're twins. What do you want? But because they're having that, conflict, Osha can sense May somehow. She hears the little child voice of May.
It's like Luke and Leia being able to sense it.
Yeah, it's like when Luke's dangling off the bottom of Cloud City. Yeah, so Osha is trying to convince Yord that they got to go back. Or did I skip a little bit? I might have skipped ahead a little bit.
Well, I mean, there's just the fights ongoing.
Right, and there's fights. The who's got the upper hand keeps changing back and forth.
They should keep this team because it's a whole. I just gave credit to those two guys. If you go to the IMDb for this episode or for the series, there's like a stunt team. These people need to be held in reserve for future lightsaber battles and stuff in Star Wars. Like they got the right people for this show. So I hope they can keep them.
Right. So I don't, I'm just skipping around in this too much. I'm getting, it's all a pretty big fight. It's hard to pick where the lines occur. So during this fight, we find out that the cortosis blocks a Jedi from being able to read his opponent's mind.
Right.
Oh, that's what it implies. I did hear that, and I was
because he's like, why don't you take off your mask? He's like, so you could read my thoughts.
So it blocks mental energy, even.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Yeah, so it's basically it's Magneto's helmet, right?
He got it off of Temu.
He thought he was buying a Kylo Ren helmet, and instead he got a broken one. that's been patched back together. But yeah. And man, I'm like this episode. I keep getting lost watching the.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and they cut back and forth. This was I actually heard other people complaining about this earlier. They cut back and forth between the three scenarios.
Right.
We have
that's a classic Star Wars thing, though.
Oh yeah, but the cuts are too quick. Like the scenes aren't long enough.
27-minute episode.
Yeah, that too. This episode should have been 45 minutes.
I agree. It should have been this one in the day and night should have been day/night.
Yep, and an hour and 20.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say before the end of the episode, but some people were saying like maybe this whole series should have dropped at once, but we can talk about that later instead of weekly episode. But
so
I mean, we kind of touched on that already.
Here's the thing though, with the cortosis, there's Yord makes this statement. He gets into your head and he stays there. So that means that this guy can project mental powers, but he can't be attacked with mental powers. How does that make sense?
He's got the skills that pays the bills.
Like he's that powerful in the dark side that he can bypass cortosis? Or does he have like a switch that he can flick that energizes and de-energizes it or something? I don't know. How does that work?
He's exploiting the power of his weapons.
But
somehow.
But then we get another little revelation from Osha, at least to Yord, that her mother could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's,
I know people were speculating it was one of the witches.
So yeah, so that fed the maybe it is one of the one of the witches. But we've heard this guy talk, we've seen his forearms, and that's a pretty, I don't know.
Did you just assume his gender?
I did. I assumed his gender during Pride Month. But we get, well, I was like, whoa, are they going to kill off one of these characters right now? Jackie's just holding on, just blocking the one of those daggers, which may or may not be poisoned, from going into her neck.
But that move that she does to get out of that was epic.
Like, dude, I got this. Check this out. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this.
So she does a forward headbutt and then a back headbutt to break that hold, which is
a badass. Jackie,
that's not normal Jedi training. No, and then a leg sweep, and then a cuffing. Right? So Jackie thinks she's won. And she discovers that May had taken Master Kelnaka's saber and goes ahead and puts the saber on her belt next to her saber. And that's when we get visited. Jackie gets visited by, what did we just say? It's the stranger.
The stranger.
And holds her own against him pretty good. He's on the warpath and knocks her down with a swift kick.
Yeah, they're all super vulnerable to kicks.
Yeah.
It's like
Street
kick.
Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And May looks absolutely terrified right here. Because she knows what's coming. This guy's got the upper hand on Jackie.
See, even the stranger's impressed by Jackie.
So impressed that he turns off his lightsaber while she's standing up. And when she goes into attack, he deflects her a little bit more with the cortosis forearm block.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't know about the cortosis.
And which deactivates Jacky's lightsaber, but she quickly ignites Master Kelnaka's saber to continue the fight.
She's an A student.
So she's in the perfect position right here. She, as you can see, Kelnaka's saber, the emitter is right here, just slightly shorted out, and she's getting ready to. Oh, well, she just hoped it was just still on. So it reignites, and she's got the dual blade like Anakin did a few times in
we get to see some dual blading in this, so that's cool.
Some of the season. And then also we just got that some dual blade action in Ahsoka. That was fun. But that wasn't quite it. Not only does Jackie have two blades, we'll find out someone else does too very shortly. But in the meantime, May runs away. She does the classic,
I'm out of here.
Legs behind, handcuffs behind your back, scooch it over under your butt, pass it behind your knees, escape that we've seen in everything forever. The stranger sees May running away, but decides to keep attacking Jackie. But this like actually it's not. I have
my favorite character in this episode, and
it's the
off. I'm so bummed.
I don't know. It's weird, but
I know you don't approve of her lifestyle. I understand.
I don't know what you're talking about. But right here, to me, this looks like he actually cut the saber this time.
Yeah, because doesn't she drop it?
She drops that after, drops the saber after that.
Yeah,
because that's molten metal. That's
it's actually disabled.
That's not the sparky tip disable. That's straight. I almost cut off your hand, lady.
Yeah, and it's red, and the saber was green, right? So he's like chopped it off.
Yep. And then he does ninja vanish. Is that? I just noticed that now in the bottom left corner here. Is that just lightsabers turned on? Just laying on the ground from dead Jedi?
It kind of looks like it. I'm like zooming in. It's hard to say. But what else could it be?
Right? It looks like 3 or 4 blades just on the ground right there.
Do they come in that color? It's kind of like a weird.
That's that yellow
the color that everybody complained about.
And it's slightly out of focus.
Yeah, maybe because it's out of focus, it doesn't look quite as yellow as the others.
Oh, they were like flickering. That was interesting.
So there's a little bit of.
I thought for a second here that she was.
There's a little bit of green flicker there, but that's definitely cut metal.
Yeah, that lightsaber's toast.
Yeah, that is irreparable. Irreparable. There we go.
Irreparable.
Yeah, that's it. You reprobate. So Jackie goes trying to run after this guy, and again we get another scene wipe with Yord and Osha going through the trees where the Umbra moths were, and Osha notices that the moths are gone, but Yord doesn't, and is refusing to turn off his lightsaber at first. Got to check the trees for himself.
I know. Yord is such a doofus.
He's just so square.
It's like, did you not see that thing that almost ate her in the previous episode? But whatever.
Yeah, it's like you were part of the group.
Yeah.
You were part of the group, and he finally remembers. But he's also pretty, like, he looks freaked out. Like I don't know if it's because of what the stranger did to him, but he looks like worried and terrified at the same time. Like, we gotta go. We gotta keep moving. And
yeah, it's not. It's. I think it's less about getting her to the ship. It's more about getting
himself.
Like he's terrified. He was so happy that he got ordered to take Osha to the ship.
Exactly.
He's like, I don't have to fight this guy. That means I'm not gonna die. Yeah.
Or are you?
Yeah. Fighting that guy, not a good thing. So we get May finally gets caught up to by the stranger, and she probably thinks he's going to kill her right now, which he probably should have. But instead of doing that, he talks a little bit of smack, and she begs for his forgiveness. He calls her weak, and then cuts the handcuffs off her. Which, I don't know if you guys noticed, the handcuffs had that blue glow, just like the ones they put on little Grogu. And we get a 3-way. All right. And I thought for a second we were going to get a foursome going on, but May decides to run again.
Yeah, she's just in it for herself.
So we get the stranger chases after her again, but this time grabs her with the force and throws her up against a rock.
So this is why I mentioned that this episode is bonkers, just because it's just like
it's all
what's gonna happen.
Was constant.
All over the place.
What the hell?
It's all over the place, but it's like constant action. The whole episode is there's something happening that you have to be paying attention to.
Yeah, but it's entertaining enough where you're not like, let me check my phone real quick.
Yeah, I didn't touch my phone during this episode.
And I didn't have issues.
You did. You texted me.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that part, but
but the cuts didn't bother me. I know their modern editing styles are quicker and fast cuts and everything, but I was able to follow pretty much what was going on without being.
I thought it was good. I think for our purposes right now, it makes it a little hard to.
Yes. The pause, when you're pausing and everything.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm out of here. It's such a kung fu movie, man, to me, and that's what I loved about it.
Yeah, no, it is, because I mean, let's see.
You got the prisoner running away. You got the wise master fighting to the death.
Right, but not only that, just the way that the stranger moves.
It's choreographed.
It's like, I was sharing that whole deal, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Like, look at the way he leaps.
Yeah.
That's just like, I saw this movie like back in like 1986.
Yeah, it's great.
But I'm
glad that they're bringing all that style into this.
I thought Osha was going to get killed right there, and I'm sure you've seen me accidentally share it a couple times right now, where Jackie just barely deflects.
Yeah.
The stranger's saber from impaling May. Which
it's funny, Jackie does that. It's almost like a Jackie Chan movie with all those little hand movements that is like blocking a sword with a bottle and doing,
like Drunken Master.
Same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to. The last little hand movements are stopping this thing from happening. Quick on his feet. It's great.
So once again, May is frozen with fear against the rock, and this is when she calls out to Osha, and Osha hears the little voice. I thought it happened earlier, but it is what it is. And she convinces Yord that they have to go back, and they're gonna bring the moths with them. Why? I don't know. Does Osha have that power to control beasts? I don't think so.
She uses the light. She uses the flashlight to draw the beast, but it's like just to add some more chaos to the whole situation. Now let's get monsters in here. Let's get some monsters.
Right. So we're back. We're back to the lightsaber fight. All
the tricolor looks great.
It does. It does. We learned that. We learned that back
colors. I don't like it.
It's like a rainbow.
Yeah.
So we get another headbutt against the Master Soul's lightsaber to knock that out of commission. So I mean, this guy's, you don't see too many headbutts in Star Wars. That's not like a normal combat move.
It's a disarmed style.
But we get Jackie. I mean, look at her face. I don't think she's running light side no more. That's rage.
Yeah,
that is pure rage right there.
he's pissed off.
Yeah,
All
she's
her
definitely been
buddies
channeling
just
this
got
rage like this episode.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the stranger got in her head. That's what ends up happening to all of them, right? He gets in their head, and they make a mistake.
And she ends up breaking the stranger's mask off of his face with 3 consecutive lightsaber hilt blows to the face, which
was amazing.
Yeah. Keeping her lightsaber ignited the entire time. So we get
the face
reveal of the stranger's hidden blade. Now he's dual wielding.
Is that where that came from?
That is where it came from. His second blade popped out of the bottom of the first. So he's got a double bladed lightsaber, but not in the same way Darth Maul does. But I think, I could be wrong. I think, is this an option for a lightsaber style in Jedi Survivor?
I mean, you can have any lightsaber style, but
but the way that the blade breaks apart, or he's still got a big Darth Maul size one, right? I
never noticed. Yeah,
I think he's got the big Darth Maul size one. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, snaps in half, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. This one was hidden in the other one, like in the hilt separates. That's kind of cool.
Man, I wish there was slow motion on Disney Plus. If there is, I don't know how to turn that on.
You'd have to capture it ahead of
right.
time.
I'd have to capture it and do it myself. But once that he's got that other blade out, Jackie charges him again, even though she's blinded by rage, and this guy is twice as armed, and we get that first one there.
She's still okay. She's still okay. People have survived.
And we've right. But there's 2 more. Oh, it's like a bowling ball.
Another massacre. I'm sad.
And we get
that one bummed me out.
The most fun.
I don't care about Yord.
Yeah, like
Jackie was a badass in this episode. She didn't deserve.
Yeah, she was.
But she went down fighting, so that's cool.
She did. And she's like, right here, she knows she's gonna die. She's dying. If she doesn't die, if this is somehow she survived that,
time travel.
I'm
just kidding.
People are really gonna lose their crap.
I mean, is that even possible? I mean, again, noob here, so don't know about. It seems like having 3 giant lightsaber holes in you,
right,
is not going to turn out well.
And people will flip tables if she comes back.
Most beings with like a person structure, organs are in certain places,
right?
And, they might be flip flop because you're an alien, but
right.
But it's going to probably be in one of your chest cavities or maybe in the middle. Yeah.
Anything through the middle is never good.
No.
There's already the community.
But lightsabers lightsabers
are worthless now.
Lightsabers do cauterize as they pierce through flesh.
Right.
For the most part, except for that one time on Tatooine.
And they cook your organs.
Yeah, there's that too. So
this surprise,
here we go.
This is the first of like the major characters. I was like, no way.
Boom.
Right.
And what do we get?
Like, really
what do we get?
Jason Mendoza.
His name's Kimmy, the character, right?
Come here.
No way. It was him all along on a show that gave us no other alternative suspects.
I didn't say it here. I know I mentioned it to somebody else. When they first said his name, Chimera, I was like, oh, that's pretty close to a chimera. And, you know, it's a creature that changes. Here we go. So we get Chimera revealed as this guy.
Milo.
Yeah, well, he's not smiling anymore. Well,
now he's Krylo.
I get he goes from Smilo to Krylo.
Yeah.
Oh, like because he gets all emo.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're shocked, and he's like,
"Come on, you knew
like
me."
he's like, did you? Yeah. Oh, there was that. Yeah, with May. Did you really not know?
Right. I knew.
Yeah. No. I knew from.
He was suspect one for me.
He was suspect one for a lot of people.
Yeah, from what I read, obviously.
I mean, in the previous episode, he's like, "I came here and I scoped it out and I did all this." And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was he was just way too sus. I mean, it was super obvious to me, but you know how shows like to do that, to throw you, but they did not throw us.
Right.
Last week, especially though, it's like, you know, you're failing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You made a deal. Yeah.
So we get
he's way too invested.
We get a little bit more dialogue between Chimera and Master Soul. Like he looks so smug right there. Even though he's unmasked, he's like, I'm gonna kill you now. All right. Master Soul says Jackie's name, and he's all like, he said, is that its name? Calling Jackie an it.
Yeah.
I know.
I noticed that.
I mean, and the way he's saying it, like the look on his face,
kicked your butt, dude.
It was so condescending.
Yeah.
So malicious. And then Master Soul says she was just a child, and that's followed with, you brought her here.
And he's right.
And and they don't learn. The Jedi don't learn, because what did we see? What did we see in the Clone Wars series?
Teenagers into a war zone?
Yeah.
Like it's they definitely showed Ahsoka like dealing with that stuff as a teenager.
Right. I mean, the children going into the war zone is what caused Barriss Offee to decide that the Jedi were evil on her own. She wasn't even really being manipulated, but that's another show.
Yeah. I mean, this is only one example. If you Blinks, if you watch like a series of shows going back and movies, like they're building a case, like these may not necessarily be the best like caretakers of the galaxy and teachers of children. Like,
they don't seem like it.
They think they're all badass, and there's like a lot of like nostalgia about them, but they're actually not as chill as you would think.
Right. So we get the stranger who's been revealed to be a Chimera. Just changes his tone completely and addresses May. Decides to
the whole cloak. Yeah. Like, you see how you wear that cloak?
That was fun. Yeah, it is.
It's like you can just take off your coat. You don't have to like.
Well, he wanted to make sure he was using it as a distraction against Soul. It probably has, like I was saying, might have cortosis in it, so it would have diffused Soul's lightsaber a little bit longer. If he even tried, you know,
maybe it looked cool.
Oh, but he doesn't. So right again, we get Chimera going for a killing blow and getting denied again. Because I mean, what kind of Sith master can't destroy his own pupil? And we get this very interesting hostage taking thing with a lightsaber up to her head. So all he's got to do is turn it on, and she'll have, you know, a Cypress Hill song going on. So Soul, you know, throws his lightsaber down, and we get a little bit of exposition about who this guy is. So he states that he has no name. And that
not that he's going to tell them his name.
And then he says this, and I've seen a lot of people nitpicking this, saying, if you say that, you're not being a very good Sith. In fact, it's kind of against the rules to identify yourself as a Sith to others.
Maybe because of him, because this happens way before a lot of stuff, right? Isn't this one of the earlier?
Yes,
chronologically,
but like chronologically, I mean, it's only 100 years before like the main body of it.
Got it.
Like fair, like the height of the Sith is like thousands of years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been living in secret.
Yeah.
And he follows this up with, basically, I want to be free to practice my religion, which is kind of, you know, almost noble in a sense, but not, you know, when your religion is death and destruction,
not the way he's doing it. Yeah.
But he doesn't explicitly say like he's Sith though. Like he's just like, you might call me that.
Yeah,
that is true.
You
that is
would
true.
Probably call me that, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like,
Asajj Ventress does the same thing when she first meets Dooku. She says, "I'm a Sith," and she says, "I'm a Sith," and he's like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
You don't even know what the real thing is. She just thinks she's a badass trying to impress him and scare him.
So they're like,
you know, I totally forgot about the Asajj's or being Dooku's acolyte, basically.
He comes to like a audition, basically.
Yeah.
He auditions her, like she comes and like kills a whole bunch
of people. Right. He says he's looking for an apprentice, but he's really looking for an acolyte because he's the apprentice to the Emperor, to Darth Sidious.
Yeah,
and really what that means is he needs a student so he can kill his master.
Yeah. You can't kill your master till you got your own student. Or something like that.
Yeah. Because there's the rule of two. Basically preserves the Sith.
If he's even a Sith.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a dark side user.
I mean, because Ki-Adi-Mundi, who we saw in the previous episode, says that the Sith in episode 1.
Yeah, but Ki-Adi-Mundi is often wrong.
Yeah. The Sith haven't existed for thousands of years.
Yeah. So
I mean, he said some other things.
Maybe he doesn't know about what happens here. That makes me think that the whole story doesn't get back to the Jedi. You know,
right?
Because he doesn't know about what happens on this planet.
But yeah, he decides that May went back on the deal. She exposed him, and now everybody's got to die because that's the Jedi rule. Which, you know,
it's his rules. He didn't make the rules. He just follows them or breaks them.
Yeah, Jedis make the rules.
Yeah,
and the Jedi say that he can't exist. So if they see him, they all got to die. Which is, you know, it's pretty sound logic.
If they know he exists, they're a threat to him. And it's all Jedi.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we get, once again, right before the killing blow, a Jedi's got to be a hero. Yord grabs the dude's helmet with the Force, which is kind of strange because shouldn't it be resistant to power? I don't get it.
Force power.
Maybe
was the blocking the thoughts thing real, or was it I'm gonna tell you that it's blocking the thoughts. So you believe
The power of
blocking the
suggestion.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, was that just a bluff? Because, hey, it could be. We don't know. You know,
Maybe
how
it
do
can
you
block-
measure?
it can
How do you
block
measure?
mental
How do you measure
powers,
mental?
but you can still pick it up.
Right. So yes, but Yord used. Well, yeah, I guess. So
You can manipulate it with the force.
Yord decides to go ahead and hit this guy with his own helmet, which is I thought was pretty hilarious.
Mhm.
But of course, not before he does a forearm, just kind of blocks the lightsaber again. Hold on. And we get, like, right here, I thought we were going to get, you know, a lightsaber through the face, but that would be too graphic for Disney. Even though we did see, like, I'm not sure how old is Jackie supposed to be in this series?
Oh, I'd have
Like
to look.
her class, when they show her class on Coruscant, like, everybody in that class looks to be like under 18.
Yeah, they
So-
seem fairly young.
So technically they killed a child on Disney Plus,
Well, she's like the oldest,
which is like,
that's why they brought
which
her
is like
around.
amazing for Disney Plus. Like that's a big leap forward. like that's not something I would have thought I'd ever see. Is, you know, you don't kill the kids. They got rules in video games against that for the most part, which kind of sucks. It will be way more fun.
Oh my gosh, you're advocating for the killing of children.
Not in real life, but in
I just want you to clarify that.
media entertainment.
Okay. I'm just
in
checking.
In video games, and it's more impactful,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, it's like killing the dog. They can't kill the dog, but
yeah,
Over
I mean,
66.
even in Fallout,
The
dog agreed.
the dog did agree. We have a comment here. Yes, Joseph, this is episode 6 review.
Yep.
Oh, episode 5.
Oh, 5. 5?
What did I die? Oh shit!
Did
Thank
you type
Joe.
it wrong?
I did type it wrong.
Whoops.
Oh, you mean
From the
in the
future.
Oh, that's funny. The thumbnail is right. The thumbnail is right, but the type is the
This
text
is episode 5, so you got me too. I was like, wait.
All right. So, yeah. Whoopsie.
Hey, maybe you found a secret to like getting more viewers. It's like
right.
You say we saw next week's episode.
Just be really, really wrong.
Right.
Hey, this might get us a lot more hits this week.
Get some extra views.
Yeah. Finale. You know what? I don't like it. Just a side note. A lot of reviewers are getting the episodes, the first 4 episodes of the series ahead of time. I don't know if they did for this show, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's cheating.
It is cheating. It really is.
It's a little bit of inside baseball, you know?
Yeah, and then they don't get the like the excitement of watching it on a weekly basis either. Like it kind of robs them of that too. So it's all for
that is why we have a weekly release cycle, because it's at least a semblance of participatory television watching.
Yeah.
That's why it's people push for that.
Which doesn't superly exist anymore with all the streaming. I was just reading something about that.
Well, there's like very few shows that are actually on a broadcast network that people are like, oh man, I have to tune into this.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Even the broadcast shows that I do watch, which are very few, I catch on streaming the next day. I don't watch it live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. Back to the episode. So we get the only unarmed kill Yep. Right. Yeah. I don't know if I should show it. It's not very gory.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh, Yord.
And then just toss to the
Yordi.
side. And just toss to the side.
I had an audible gasp for that one too, even though I wasn't quite as upset with him being killed as I was Jackie. Jackie made me a little emotional. Yord, I just kind of was shocked.
Anybody could die now. Like
I'm like, well, who's going to be left?
Yeah, I was more shocked that they killed him off after killing Jackie, just because of what you just said exactly is who's left.
I think
if this got a second season, as of right now, there's 3 of the build cast members that are still alive. Yeah, people can show up in flashbacks, but
I don't think the show is about the things like those other people in the show. Like, what's happening now? What's happening now is actually like the sub story.
What's happening now? It's happening now.
Yeah.
Now is right now. Then
when was that?
We passed it.
Just now. When? Just now.
But yeah, so Soul is now, everybody he brought to this planet with him is dead except for Osha.
Which is real convenient for everybody involved now.
Right.
They can make up any story they want.
Right, because you know who doesn't know about any of this? Kiadi Mundi.
Yep.
At least not yet. We don't know if he's a total doofus or not.
No, I think there's another chat, but I think everything's going to be suppressed. I think that's why he doesn't know about, the council doesn't know about these guys, what happens in this planet. But I'm just speculating, just trying to make make it make sense why the Jedi 100 years from now don't know that,
because good is dumb.
It's true. It's true, or at least the people that think they're good.
Yeah.
But we get some hand-to-hand combat between Soul and Chimere, and Soul looks like he's fighting with rage.
Yeah,
picks up a lightsaber and he is about to run this fool through.
Yeah, right.
Well,
yeah,
he's about to chop his head off.
He should have just done it.
Like, for fighting an unarmed person, he's very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Joseph, we are very much enjoying this show.
Especially after this episode. This episode was amazing.
The previous episode, in my opinion, was a little bit weak because nothing happened. It should have been combined with this episode. But this episode was great. Good fighting. Yeah, we just have to see where it's all going. I'm kind of confused, but we'll see.
So, as you saw, right before Soul kills this guy, which he should have.
Yeah.
Osha calls out for him to stop, and he does. And we get some more exposition from Chimere telling Osha, do you really trust this guy after everything he's done? And she's like, what? Like, what are you talking about, basically?
Yeah.
And we get the moths show up.
Rad Roach 2.0.
Yep, winged rad roaches. And we get this claim from Master Soul. Right? And this, I mean, he's just an agent of chaos, but Osha decides to use Pip's head in flashlight mode to draw the moths.
A toy series for that thing. I want to get one for my desk.
A Pip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little droid, the little tiny droid. Who wouldn't want one of those?
I like Pip. He's cute.
Especially if it separates.
They should make a cell phone case that looks like it.
That would be smart.
3D printed. You could 3D print
But
it.
it'll all be for iPhone because that's all they ever seem to have at Disneyland.
They have Android stuff. I saw Android stuff.
Yeah, not much.
It's at Star Traders. They have it.
All right, we'll double check next time.
I didn't even
So
think
we
it
get the
was
Umber Moths decide to steal Chimera.
Yep.
Like
It was a great move by OSHA.
it was, but I feel like they should have just killed him.
Well,
violates one of
I
your
agree,
tenets,
but-
Lobo. No body, no death.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't dead. I know he
Of
wasn't.
course.
Yeah, totally.
They
No
didn't
body,
kill
no
him, right?
death.
It basically just gets him out off the camera for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. It's the
Lots of
villain
villain.
gets away. It's like when the Joker falls off a building or something.
If it weren't for the meddling kids,
Yeah. But we get Soul promising to explain to OSHA every suspect thing that Chimera said to her while the fight was going on.
I mean, you should have been straight up with her from the beginning, dude.
The
Like,
way
Soul's
he
got some
says it,
answers.
He
though,
was.
there's such guilt in his voice, and in his
Right.
face.
He killed all the witches. Okay, just
Yeah.
tell her. Dang it, come up.
But if you watch real careful,
The Jedi killed the witches for sure.
you can see while they're talking, trying to get a nice little still frame of it. Dang it.
Just let it play for a second.
Yeah.
And we have some comments if you would like to address
There
them.
we go. Boom. Did you see that? Thing that just flew by? Stun
Yeah, what was
gun.
that?
Boom.
Oh, that was a stun gun flying by.
The stun gun.
And me being a noob, I was like, oh no, did they kill him too?
I 100% agree, Jacob.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is what
100%.
this show's about. It's about
The
you know,
Jedi got what they deserved.
it's a vengeance show, but also
So
because people thought it was like a mystery. They're like, it was not really a mystery in the beginning. Like that's a minor part of the why she was killing the Jedi.
right.
I mean, it's more about why, not who.
Yeah, I think the addition of Cortosis to the series was great. Mar. And Joseph, the guy's name is Khmer when he's not wearing his mask. Like that's the identity that he uses.
Smilo.
The subtitles called him the stranger while he was wearing the mask. And then I think it went back to him being called Khmer. When the name had appeared in the subtitles. But
Jason Mendoza.
yeah, it's just Jason from The Good Place.
He might have a villain name, but we don't know it yet. Like an actual villain name.
Okay.
That makes
Here's
sense.
the light and stranger is the dark, right? Well, it's like Anakin and Darth, Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, light and dark.
Right.
Same deal. So we don't know what he hasn't been given a Darth title, at least not one that he's announcing yet. Maybe
This
he'll
3
get this.
1/4 inch.
Maybe he'll
figurine.
get this if he has his own master. Maybe he'll choose something off his own. But also, there's again another comment here. Mar Hawkman, they should have at least mentioned that it exists. When would they explain it in this episode? I'm assuming that they're going to explain it a little bit in the next episode.
everything gets explained next episode,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the running thing for this series.
which is gonna be real awkward considering the contrivance that happens.
Right.
Near the
Yeah.
end.
So we haven't got to the end yet. So we're almost there, and then we'll go into into future speculation and all that kind of
Star
stuff.
Wars has a history of not explaining stuff. It just shows you. You know?
Yeah.
Like when a Star Destroyer shows up, it's like, this is an Imperial Type 2 Star Destroyer, blah, blah, blah. You know, like they just do it. Like it's a lived in universe. Sometimes like Beskar armor, they kind of talk about it, you know, but not all the time. Anyways.
Ooh.
That would have been nice. That would have been a good place to introduce Cortosis. But, you know, then we wouldn't have got those two melted blades off that. So
yeah, it was cool to see them introduced this way. I gotta say, I was confused. I thought the lightsabers were getting cut in half. I was like, right, he's just chopping everybody's lightsabers up. But then,
but they were sparking,
and they were coming back. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
and that's when I figured something else was happening.
All right, but you know, quick question: have you forgotten who they are? Sorry. Well, I thought this episode was going to be a lot shorter. We're going on almost 2 hours.
It was such a good episode, though, because there's so much to talk about. I knew it was going to be long.
I thought it was going to be short since it was mostly an action sequence. But yeah, so we get May yelling about how the Jedi invaded their home and her point of view. We get Osha defending what they did. And, you know, Osha saying, May, you're the violent one. You started the fire, and that she would have been dead too if it wasn't for the Jedi. Even though we saw May fall down that pit first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get this, they've turned you against me. I can help you. We get a weird hug.
But now I'm wondering,
awkward.
If they really did like Jedi mind trick memories, like some false memories.
Right. That's so. This, I mean, I kind of wanted to save this for speculation afterwards.
Stockholm syndrome.
In episode 3, it goes from Osha setting May setting fire to Osha's diary, or whatever you want to call that little triangle book,
to the door exploding on fire,
to the whole, not just the door, but the walls were on fire.
Yeah.
How do you start a fire like that?
I don't buy it
from the outside of stone and metal.
I don't buy it for a second.
You can't.
We haven't seen the
fire.
other angle.
That fire had to start within the electrical system, not from external.
I figured that the Jedi, something went wrong. They were going to try to steal the kids, and something went wrong, and everybody died, and it's all their fault.
Remember there was the Chekhov's gunshot of the reactor.
The power generator, whatever that
is. Like the rumbling, and then like the one Zabrak like looks at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Note this for later.
Yeah.
All right. Just real quick, I want to just acknowledge these last 2 comments that came in. Jedi would consider me a Sith, but he doesn't say he's a Sith. Yes, yeah. Joseph. We touched on that briefly. But yeah, it's a misunderstood, misconstrued idea, I think.
It's like saying you would call me a thug.
The only thing is Leslie Headland did say that the show is about the Sith. And then Mar Hawkins plotting, why does Osha want to join a group she doesn't know exists? She kind of does know they exist, though, by the time we meet her, because they've been spotted spying on them by scouts from their witch coven. Like the mothers know that the Jedi are watching them. So kids like to find out information.
She's curious about
them. So that could be why she knows that they're there, that they're the Jedi are a thing. And then I think her diary implied the fact that she was having visions of Jedi symbology. There's the crescent with the not quite the Rebellion Phoenix design, but the Jedi one that's fairly similar. So I think
not to get too sidetracked, but we did talk about this during that episode where I was also having trouble with that. How does she even know what the Jedi are? And the whole witch coven is telling her they want to take you away to other planets and do other. And she's like, I do want to go to other planets. Like that
Yeah.
sounds cool to me. Like she was down. Like she didn't want to be a witch. So
Yeah, that
Right.
sounds
She
neat.
wanted
Yeah.
something different.
yeah, I do want to leave. So she was obsessed with the Jedi, kind of.
I don't know
Yeah,
if we know that for sure. Like I don't know how some of your statement here, Joseph, he can't have a name because the master hasn't given him one. He's also not an apprentice because the master hadn't made him one. We don't know who or even if there is a master. So
Yeah, we don't have much backstory on.
I don't think we
What's
have enough.
Palpatine's master's name? Darth
Um
Sidious, right? No. No.
Plagius? Is it
Plagueis.
I forget.
Plagueis. You
Oh,
think they're
come
gonna
on.
involve him? Maybe.
You don't the meme, guys.
Right.
They don't tell you about Darth Plagueis. The Jedi wouldn't tell you about Darth Plagueis.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. They wouldn't tell you.
Because he's unnatural.
So after that awkward hug,
I kind of knew this was coming.
Osha tries to arrest May.
Oh, is that what happens?
And May breaks her hold.
I couldn't decide what was going to happen.
And Osha flings
I
her
knew there
off
was
the
gonna be a
side
turn.
of a small little ledge. And apparently she bumped her head or something and got like yet another concussion.
Yeah, she's gonna have brain damage after this series.
And we get Osha brainstorming right here. And decides to give herself a little haircut.
A perfect haircut.
May.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
May gives herself a haircut.
This is where this annoyed me. Lobo and I were talking about this a little bit last night. We had a little bit of a discussion, and I'm not into the body, into the like body switch idea.
It's a very
in any
Disney
show.
thing.
It's not just in this show. For some reason, it just bugs me.
It's Freaky Friday.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not a thing that I like in TV shows.
Some people were complaining they've already done it. Like the confusion thing happened before. Now they're doing it again. But
right, yeah,
we're parent trapping.
Yeah, for the second time, right?
For the second time, because I mean, we had
the
mistaken identity that May was Osha to begin with, and then we have Osha pretend to be May to get info from Chimera when we thought he was just the bumbling fool pretending to be the shop owner, which he probably killed.
Likely.
But,
back to the well.
But yeah.
Maybe Saul knows.
Maybe we will find out, because there is someone who definitely does have a better idea, and it's this little fella right here. So we see Chimera walking away right here, and then we get
Basil
finding Pip's head.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but
and instead of following Chimera, he runs off.
Basil knows what's up, though.
Save yourself.
But Basil's he's like Snarf from Thundercats, but can't talk.
Yeah. Also, did we talk about how Basil's like species is like a super like deep cut from like a 1979 Han Solo novelization?
Oh yeah.
I forgot.
That's
Scroll people.
Yeah.
Crab people.
So I think Soul knows that.
Or he's suspicious.
I hope he knows. I don't want this dragged out.
Well, here's the
Basil's
thing.
Basil's gonna snitch anyway.
Look at he asks May, because this is May in Osha's clothing.
Right.
He's like, "Where is she?" She says, "Who?" And he doesn't say the name. He says, "Your sister."
Right.
Which is the correct response for either one.
Right.
So, and she's trying to read him, so, and she just responds with, "She's gone." She doesn't say she's dead. She just says she's gone. So Soul just kind of is going along with it.
Yeah, it seems like a weird response. Now you saying it again and me looking back on it. Yeah.
I mean, May is the target that they came to get. So mission accomplished. Let's get back to the ship. I don't care if you're pretending.
Either way, it works.
Right.
Yeah. I got one of you. Let's get out of here. 2 would have been better, but I'll take 1.
Right. Oh, so
yeah, it pissed people off, kind of. I love
So
aliens. Just random aliens.
Right.
Doing their alien stuff.
grunting.
Playing
So
alien chess.
And yeah, the tattoo. What about the tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we do get
hiding it.
Chimera goes back and gets his helmet and get some more confirmed Jedi body kills, like while he's walking by, and he comes across May laying on her side with a wound.
Well, who he thinks is May.
Well, no, he knows that's.
Yeah, he's got a new acolyte. He's gonna try to.
He knows that's Osha. I know he knows.
I mean, her tattoo is visible, so.
Right. So some people thought that he was trying to do force heal right here.
Me too.
Which I don't know. I don't see.
Because doesn't it close?
I rewound it and watched it because I wondered myself, and it didn't seem like anything changed.
So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I thought the wound closes, but maybe not.
Joseph, the tattoo though is on her head is not as noticeable with the bang down because it's like a white dot pattern and it kind of blends in.
I didn't look at how her bangs were sitting. They might have styled it to look like it's covered. I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah,
but she does. She also she has. Face. So yeah, Chimera finds her laying there and puts his cloak over her like he's being nice. Like if that was May, if he thought that was May, he would have woke her up and then killed her. Like he wouldn't,
Yeah,
the fact that he hasn't killed that person yet means he knows who it is. And it's not the one that looks like that he wants to kill.
Right.
Maybe Smilo wanted Osha the whole time, as part of the plan.
Probably.
Maybe he might have wanted both of them, but you'll take one.
There is the whole if you saw that episode 9, a dyad is a very powerful thing to feed off of because that's what Palpatine tries to do with Ren and Rey. I mean, Kylo Ren and Rey. But that's all I'm going to say about that movie because I can't say anything nice.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
But yeah,
Basil sniffing around the ship.
Basil. So Basil is on the ship and he sees Master Soul and who's Osha walk by him. He like sniffs and looks a little confused, and then that scene ends. So it's like Basil knows. I think Master Soul knows,
or he will shortly.
So that's pretty much that's it. So Soul, they haven't left the planet yet either, though. I should point that out.
Yeah,
Master Soul.
They didn't show them leave.
And May are on their ship, still parked at a spaceport or wherever the landing zone is for this planet.
Great choreography this episode. Great fighting. A lot of bunkers. Like
they killed everybody.
I know. I didn't think
they killed all the supporting cast.
Yeah, the whole
Jackie and Yord were gonna die in the same episode too.
Right.
Within a few minutes of each other.
Yeah, there's the cast has been whittled down to 3.
So if your complaint that this show's kind of predictable, like now what's gonna happen? Like I don't know what's gonna happen now.
Pretty high stakes.
Everything's up in the air.
Right.
Well, some people were like, "Well, we weren't given any character development, so why should we care about these character deaths?" I cared about Jackie less so Yord.
I
didn't expect them to die.
I found Jackie and Yord both to be fairly entertaining.
Yeah,
like regardless if I would hang out with either one of them in real life.
Yord was definitely good to laugh at.
Yeah.
Yord's got a funny name.
And his hair, you know. And when they catch him without his suit, and he's like, "Oh, I'm shirtless. Look at me."
Right.
Steaming his robe.
Yeah. Steaming his robe.
So, yeah, she
did have the best fighting style too.
Like, I don't know about the most interesting, but she's definitely top 5.
Yeah, Jackie was awesome.
With Smilo for a good chunk. She was great.
So, I wanted to address this, that Joseph Ricci, remember in episode 2 the jail scene where the guy yells out about Osha, "I felt her darkness, she's evil, be careful," and Soul sets him up. Was that guy sane though, or was he just yelling stuff for shock value?
Or did he? I mean, he could have known something.
Yeah, he's insane, but maybe he did pick up on a little bit about it. A little bit of it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Kind of like start more conjecture.
Right?
Like, Osha was the one who started the fire.
Well, Lobo and I were talking last night about this, and you know, I kind of feel like I know who started the fire at this point, and I don't know if I don't know if they're going for that obviousness again.
Oh, you mean Master Soul?
Yes.
Having started the fire?
Yes. Just the guilt when he tells Osha that he'll explain everything. The guilt on his face and in his voice just made me feel like, oh, you totally did this so you could take her.
I'm pulling for Osha. I'm pulling for Osha, the dark horse, to be the one who did it.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
She wanted to get out of there, so she starts a fire to cover.
They also they've also shown that she doesn't have powers mostly, which would be like turning it over on its head if she was the one who's like capable of like being overcome with like fear and
rage, right?
Or just wanting to get out of there enough to like blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
And then Saul for her like protection is like, "Oh, you didn't do this."
Right.
But let's go. Let's see.
Or like maybe Osha took her rage at her sister, fueled the fire that the sister started.
Yeah, they do have that twin tuition thing going on. Yeah. So
and that's how the fire magically got inside of the walls.
It was the Twinferno.
She pulled some threads.
Twinferno.
Yeah. The towering Twinferno.
Any more twin puns?
No.
None that I can think of at the moment.
Oh no, I nothing.
Aren't they working on Twins 3 with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger though?
Oh my gosh! Stop.
There was a Twins 2?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Wow.
I thought there was.
I don't know.
How many episodes are left?
They should just come out with 3 and act like there was a 2.
We have 3 episodes left.
That was 5, and there's 8 total.
Yeah.
Right. So 7 is the expected flashback episode. The next episode.
I always say this for every show that we watch. Is the last episode going to be like a 27-minute finale? That's going to be sad.
14.
Yeah.
I hate
the
it
last
when
episode
do that.
It's going to be longer.
It's going to be a show. It's going to be 1 episode of Visions. No.
I want my Disney Plus prorated.
Prorated.
I think we're going to get Soul and Kamir telling the sisters
the real story,
their versions of what really went down.
Right.
And we're going to get May go, "Oh, maybe you guys don't suck." And we're going to get Osha saying, "Oh, that's what happened. F those guys."
Right.
And we're going to get Darkseid Osha versus maybe Soul or maybe even May.
Juxtaposition.
But we'll see.
Yeah,
maybe
that
and maybe
be interesting.
maybe May. I mean, not May. Osha will go so dark side that she kills May and Soul.
No, I mean maybe
to have her journey to the dark side complete.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
I mean, after this episode, you can't.
You never
Who
know.
knows? They just
like
he had the
wrong. He had the wrong Anastasia. Like now that he has the right one, he's got an acolyte.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I think he's kind of stoked. Now he gets to try. He gets to try again with the other sister.
Give it another go.
Right.
Yeah, and if he turns her, then obviously works to his advantage.
Yep.
And there's been several points. They already seem to have their personality swap.
The one that threw me was when May was gonna turn herself in the previous episode. All of a sudden, I thought that was a little just too
sudden.
Very fast.
It was very sudden.
But she was kind of panicking. I think that's how I would justify it if I were the writer. She's like, "I'm just gonna turn myself in and tell him I'm sorry. I just killed 3 Jedis."
So we got another comment from Mar Hawkman. I don't think it's true, but there's an idea that maybe Ocean may only have one soul. Well, they do have that chat. Was it?
I can't remember what the little chant is.
Born is 2.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's it's
Oh, yeah.
It might be. I don't know. I remember I saw earlier one of the guys I was watching their stream, they're saying, oh, maybe it would have been weird if when they were hugging, if they melded, but it's a little far-fetched.
Like the T-1000
like, yeah, well,
2 become 1.
Yeah, 2 become 1, just like I don't know, one disappears into the other. I don't know. That would be really weird.
It would be really weird. I felt like in that scene, either that Osha was going to give in and be like, okay, you're right. And then that was a fleeting thought. And I was like, nah, she's going to turn. Yep. She's not putting up with this crap.
Right.
She's not buying her story.
Oh, somehow I missed this comment back here from Mar. Leslie said she based this on a tabletop role-playing game campaign she played. Yeah, I actually have somewhere in my massive storage area of Star Wars stuff. I have some the role-playing game books. I wonder if any of that's in there.
What happens when we all roll like smugglers, though?
There'd be a lot of smuggling going on.
Moving a lot of spice.
I like this comment. Identical twins are conjoined twins via the Force. I mean, again, I'm a noob in the Star Wars world, but I wouldn't put it past them after seeing what I've seen of this series.
There is precedent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a possibility. I don't know. Interesting concept. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys have more insight into that, obviously.
No, this is like, I mean, Luke and Leia are twins, but they're not identical.
Right.
But these 2 are. So it might work a little bit different. So
and they came of alien space witches.
Yeah, we still don't know what the agreement was with them. Like, we still don't know their true origin. Maybe we'll find out what that is. Maybe we won't.
Spice cream.
Do we think this is going to go for a second season, or is this just like a one and done?
I think
one of the characters spin-off.
I don't know if it's one of those things where I don't think it would still be called the Acolyte.
Right.
the surviving cast members, and then another title.
Got it.
The master.
Yeah, it could be it could be the Acolyte, the Master, the Apprentice, like the Apprentice, the Master, like in that.
Right, like they'll add
like its own little
subtitle. Right. Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows?
All right, guys.
But yeah, so we've been going for a little over 2 hours. So that's we gotta.
We have one more comment here.
What do we got?
Very carefully.
How does a Zabrak give birth to a human? I would imagine it depends on
vitamins.
What the other
exactly
species that they bred with is.
It's easier than a human having a Zabrak.
A Zabrak, yeah. I can see that.
I mean, are Zabraks born with their horns, or do they grow?
I think they grow. I think they're probably just like little platelets at first.
Right. They're just like little circles when they're born.
little bumps.
Yeah.
Baby mall.
But the moms hope
then they
that's the case.
Then they ossify after you're born.
Right.
Right. You don't get your horns till your puberty or something.
Yeah, because the mother would die in childbirth if they had horns every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless they have pouches like kangaroos.
Right. Maybe they're marsupials.
Yeah, I mean they're aliens, right?
Yeah.
A wizard did it.
But Jackie is also like a hybrid alien as well. She's like human and
Telian or something with a T.
Yeah. So I mean, how many alien DNA is how much DNA is compatible with each other, I should say. But yeah.
And on that note,
yeah. On that note, we've been going for over 2 hours.
She's a Thelian human.
Thelian, okay.
Yeah, something with a T.
I'm super excited to see where this story goes. I was apprehensive at the beginning, especially before it started.
This is the episode that makes me quit the show.
I called Lobo as soon as I was done, and I was just like, did that really just happen? And it made me super excited for the rest of the series. After that one episode where we were all kind of like, ugh, nothing happened, and it was so short and it was so silly. This one definitely was redeeming for me.
I just knew that, but when my phone was active, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
It's either extra or extra. Oh no!
Right. Yeah. And Dan hadn't answered, so I didn't want to put anything in the chat just in case he hadn't seen yet.
Right.
But yeah, that was really good.
So yeah. So we will be back next week. Around 7 o'clock Pacific time.
Maybe we'll put the wrong episode number in the title again.
Yeah,
we've had a lot of engagement tonight, which is great.
Episode 9.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fix the title.
Yeah, thanks, Joseph, for letting us know.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Whoops. That was not intentional.
Nope. I'm just looking forward to it. It was episode Sith. Yeah. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, come back on next week.
Bye-bye.
I'll be here.
Thumbs down.
Yeah. I need to get a little
block.
Little
we need a soundboard. So on Fake Doctors Real Friends, the Scrubs podcast, they have a soundboard now where Zach Braff will just randomly, or as they're talking about episodes. We need that. I think we need that.
Yeah. But until we get that, this is what we got.